Yeah, yeah. Gotta get up in this thing. That man Tank might be fighting Martin. Look, gotta read this. Gotta read it. Hey, listen, man, we getting this Frank Martin. Let me know what the volume sound like. Let me know what the volume sound like. Let me know what the volume sound like. We're gonna let y'all get up in here. We're gonna get some pause. We're gonna get some Frank Martin in this. Abdul Wahid tank work might be going on. That's something we need to be seeing. That's a good solid scrap. That's a good solid scrap. It's a good solid scrap. So we're gonna wait till y'all get in here, get this work. We doing this video for my mans and them. My man Zay Lewis. We're doing this for my man Zay Lewis real quick. We're gonna let that music play. We're gonna let that music play. You always gotta start your morning out with a good breakfast during this time. I usually start mine off with taters. You know what? I need mad calories. Yeah, we're gonna let y'all get up in here and we're gonna get this work in. We definitely gonna get this work in. Pause. It's gonna be nice and simple. We're gonna go over uh, Frank Martin and Gervonta Davis, formerly known as Gervonta Davis. He's now known as Abdul Wahid. We're gonna refer to my man as Tank. Frank Martin is Mr. Martin. He pretty good. Frank Martin is not a bad fighter. I was just watching some highlights of him. He's not a bad fighter at all. He has a decent head movement. His head movement ain't bad at all. That's the first things I'm looking at, before we even get into it. I already know what Tank gonna do when he get in there. And it's two southpaws, so it's gonna be different. It's not gonna be like the typical, when you fight a right hand versus a conventional versus a southpaw. It's not gonna be like that. So it's gonna be a different type of work in there. Real talk. It's gonna be a different type of work in there. It's gonna be a different type of work, buddy. It's gonna be a different type of work. Where we at? Where we at? What's up with Coach K? Salute. Salute. How that volume sound? Hit the like button. Hit the cash app. It's still the season of the seven. So you gotta hit the cash app. It's the season of the seven. It's the year of the eight. The season of the seven. So so look, we gonna go over some Frank Martin things, some Javante things. You gonna keep it very simple. There's certain things you can do when you in there in the box. And this video from my man Isaiah Lou. When you really understanding boxing and watching it, you watch a couple different fights, and then when you looking over the fights, first thing I do is look to see if there have been improvements made from the last fights. You see what I'm saying? Like you have to see that. Now I'm gonna pull up Frank Martin's ooh, I'm gonna go to his box rec first. We're gonna go to his box rec, see what he working with. We're not here to do no games of speculation. Frank Martin, 29 years of age, the ghost. He live in Indianapolis. He was born in Detroit. Oh, no wonder he could box. He really from Indy, and he was born in Detroit. Okay, so his last Frank Martin got some good fights in it. People with good, decent records. Even though the Michael Riviera, he was 24 and 0. I seen that he smoked him. I just watched the highlights of the how to what is this? Artem Her Haru Union. Yeah, whatever. However you pronounce his name, Artem. That man, he boxed him pretty good. I seen him boxing pretty good. When I was watching it, dude was I noticed one thing though. When Martin, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Frank Martin, I've noticed I don't know what they be doing with their body shots, but they be doing this weird thing where they don't take good body shots. I'm gonna show you something. Frank Martin is very skillful. Look, see how he moving his head. He keep his hands up good. He decently fundamental. He got good, decent movement. Good catching counters. Good. He just touching right there. Those are the things I'm looking for. How do you handle pressure? What you doing when you win there? How you looking when you win there? You see what I'm saying? How you really looking? Like I watched the highlights of this whole fight. Frank Martin ain't scared to get up in the pocket and get some work with you. And then and what I noticed in this fight, what Frank Martin did was It was a 12-round fight. He took his time on the jab. He set up some things that led him to becoming victorious in the later rounds because I noticed after the fourth round when he was fighting the man known as Artem that he slowed down. Like if you watch from the fourth to the sixth round, you could see a subtle difference in Artem's uh, punch delivery, how the punches are effective. He did land some decent body shots, but they're null and void at the end of the day if the man not backing up off of him. He didn't take a knee. You probably slowed him down for a couple seconds, but Frank, Mr. Martin be in shape. Martin Lines, he be in shape. Marty Marr. So one thing that I did notice though, left-handers do are awkward against right-handers. Frank Martin has a good jab. I think he should stick his jab more instead of like shooting it like that. But he has great head movement. He has good fundamentals. He ain't scared to stay in the pocket and get to work. He got good combination. Let me show you some. These good combination punches. That should have been a knockdown. Look, I'm gonna show you good combination punches. This is where in the later rounds you gotta take over and then you gotta look like you in control. See this combination punching? Look, dude was hurt. That should have been a knockdown. Like dude all over the place. Like them is good combinations. Good, good. See, he got good work. He moving his head. He's staying in the pocket. This is a good 12-round fight for him to test his waters. But the guy wasn't a huge puncher. See that right there? You can't do that. That's what I'm talking about. You cannot do that. See that? That was a good body shot from dude. You can't be showing that much. You can't be doing that. And that's what I'm saying. Like those things, those are the little things that I see. But what I do see is the most of his punches, combinations. He got good strong punches. He hurt dude. He caught dude with some good shots. But I noticed one thing. Some people, when you get in work with them, whoever hit the cash app, let me check. Let me check. Bowles Jr. Jeffrey Bowles Jr. Where you at? Jeffrey. Jeffrey Bowles Jr. Jeffrey. Good looking. We hit. Hey, you gotta hit the cash app. You gotta hit it. Listen, the reason why some of those things like when you catching body shots and you doing weird movements, you gotta know how to mask them things. You see what I'm saying? You gotta know how to mask them. But as far as Frank Martin's skills, now that I know now that I know, they said Gervonta officially, well, it's not official, but you know what I mean. We're gonna look up Tank Davis' latest scrap real quick, and then we're gonna really get into some technical things. What was Tank's last scrap? We're gonna go to his box rec. We're gonna go to Tank's box rec. Tank is also 29 years old. He has a 93% knockout ratio. 93, my G. His last fight was against Hector Garcia. Was against he done fought two Garcias in a row. He fought Ryan Garcia, stopped him. We'll take a look at that real quick. The Ryan Garcia work. We're gonna take a look at that because we're just gonna take a quick look and see what things is going on in the ring so that we can come to the conclusion of how the fight is gonna look. You have to look at the fighters without prejudice. UCC 1308. You have to. This is just the highlights. Don't trip. As you can see, Ryan Garcia got some good side, decent size. He cutting the ring off pretty good. Tank, you gotta stop looking at the ref talking about he hitting behind the head. Ryan is being way too over aggressive here, in my opinion, in the early rounds. And I see that you can't be that aggressive this early against a puncher. His punches are fresh. Frank Martin cannot do that. He's gonna have to take his time and be calm. You see that? That's a clean slip and a right hook, left hook. Sat him down on Bootyville. Could have got him out of here. See, now he's reluctant to do what he normally was doing, and he getting hit with hard shots because that shot that dropped him was surprising and it was painful. So it really make you think like, damn, do I really want to hit me hard? It was a hard shot. See how Tank keep fainting? See now, see that? That right there is a small little thing. When I watch, hold on, I'm gonna rewind it again. See that little feint? Watch this. See how Tank fainting him? Man, you see how Ryan threw a hook and he got the reason. I'm gonna pause it. You see how Ryan just got out of there like that? You see how he got out of there? It's because that he missed that same hook and got caught with the left hand and got sat down. So now he like, man, no, I gotta get out of there. And that's detrimental. And another thing too, he not the thing is Tank got a good IQ. Ryan's not using the jab to stay at bay so that he could stay away from the shorter arm man. He trying to do it right there, but you don't need to take a step forward. You may take a step forward. The thing that is different with this fight is Frank. Uh, it's official. Well, then it's going. We talking about it. We only talk about niggas getting work. And these are the mistakes that you can make in there. See, this is the thing. Tank and Frank is the same size dang near. Right there, body shot hurting. Body shot hurting. Liver shot. Liver shot. And he didn't really want to fight no more. He couldn't see that power. He really didn't want to be in there. Hey, listen, he's not as small as he looks. Pause. Like he's a little he's one of them little big stocky neck, no neck ass. Like real talk. Like we're gonna look at one more scrap, a Tank. And and now when you compare the last two performances, of course Tank got the knockout. He got power. He's sharp. He knows how to weigh the storm. Um, Frank Martin clearly doesn't have the power of Tank, but it's not saying that he doesn't have power. You see what I'm saying? So when you know that, you know that, depending on how the punches feel with Tank, and how how they feel, how his resistance feel, it's gonna let you know how he gonna be able to take the shots and give the shots. But Tank has been there with different types of punchers, all different types of guys. So, and at this level, he's used to what he's used to. No, they saying it's allegedly, in the works. So, we're gonna talk about a breakdown of it and how it would look. Because I don't think Frank Martin would turn down this type of payday and it being on pay-per-view. Like this is gonna be a good, but I think Martin is gonna get stopped. He's gonna get stopped because his style is tailor made for Tank. He's a boxer. Yes, interesting fight for right now. And Tank's the style, the left handedness, the fact that Frank Martin has good decent, just the fact that he's a boxer, period. Just the fact that he's a boxer, period, is enough for him to is it it's not enough, but I'm saying this in this way. The fact that he's a boxer, period, anybody who's in there trying to box with Tank is not going to be good because boxers like to think and wait, and those things only help the sharpest, fastest, the guy with more experience on the top level with the 250. Those things help Tank. Those things help Tank for the simple fact that he's a boxer, he's a puncher. He In his boxing style, he's slick and sharp. And this is where, if you could try to fight like the typical athletic style in boxing of a black person, but it's different when you're actually black and you're doing it. And I don't mean that in no type of derogatory way. And this is the thing: the fight against the other Garcia was against a left-hander. And dude got about 5'8", so he ain't small. So dude listed as 5'8". You can see he's still taller than Tank. And the left-handedness, see that right there. He trying to wait and see what Tank's power feel like. And dude just gonna come out busy. He flicking. He got the hand down. That all of that's cool until you get in trouble. And this is the thing right there. Tank should jab right there. Right there is where you jab. You see where the hand up to chin, his hand down, you jab right there to the ribs. You jab right there. Bang, bang, bang. You keep jabbing there. That's going to make him think. I'm telling you. You feint to the head, to the body. You feint to a jab to the head like that, like you just did, and then you stick the hard jab to the body. And you step in without worrying about nothing. You do that for the first 4 rounds. But see, these things right here, these help Tank. So if Martin gonna come out boxing like this helps Tank. You see what I'm saying? This helps Tank because now he's gonna be setting up. When you got power, what's happening? When you got shout out to Cody Kid. When you got power, you can wait, bro. You can wait. You can wait. And if Frank Martin wants to be successful, He should stick the jab to the stomach and box Tank for the first 6 rounds. But he has to be busy. And he has to be using mad feints. You gotta use the feints. If you don't use the feints, it's gonna leave. You're gonna come in, you could run into a shot. He Tank is sharp and fast, dog. All it takes is one shot for him before your equilibrium is on a skateboard. You just cannot be waiting on Cuz, dog. No, we're gonna look at it a little bit more. Look, ooh, that was a see that's what I'm saying. You have to be careful. Cause when them later rounds come, you start throwing them counter shots. Watch. Look, see that up under, see them body. Ooh, right there. He could have been asleep right there. You gotta be careful, dog. You gotta be careful. He got good head movement. See that Tank be moving his head naturally. Well, that's his natural rhythm. You see how he moving, and he trying to hit him with a left. He keep leaning forward so he could get closer to do a counter. See that? So he can see how he getting close with the jab, so he could pull a counter. Stand in the inside. These are not. Listen, if Frank Martin, you don't want to be in there with dude like that. You don't want to be in. That's not what you want to be doing. When he start doing that, that's when it can get weird for you. And he got power in both hands, and he throwing some shots. Look at them good body shot. That right there hurt him. He gone. He gone. See how you didn't even know that was gonna happen like that. You didn't even know it. It's just the way the shot landed, and dude didn't see it. It almost broke his back. His knees almost broke. Bang. Watch how I hit him with the right hook. Saying that looping shot. He's setting it up because he going to the left. He keep throwing the left a certain way and coming up under. See how he keep switching up the left hand every time? He throwing it to the body. He leading with the hook. He's staying in the pocket. Watch how the shot come. Pause. Right there. That shot was behind the ear and it hurt dude. He didn't see it. And that's when it's about to get bad for you. He don't even know where he at for real. Right there, got hit with another left because he was ducking his head. He gone. Look, they asking him questions. Watch this. Boom. See that? Them the shots. If you Frank, you can't get hit with them. You can't get hit with them shots, bro. You cannot get hit with them. More left hands, dog. You cannot get. Listen, you cannot get hit with those shots. Shout out to the Pat Ewings. You cannot get hit with them shots, dog. Them is, you can't get hit with them. Them is hard shots. Man, they showing commercials. Yeah, so look, we gonna keep working. Look, they stopped it. They stopped it. You hear it. Look. The translator said, he knocked him blind, bro. He was saying he couldn't see, bro. Like I said, listen, did he say that after the fight? Like he couldn't see? Well, during the fight, he said he couldn't see. So it's like you got to realize you now if you compare both of the little their last fights, they both harness some of the same skill. Okay, they both got some of the same skills. They both can catch punches. They both can work on the inside. They both got good jabs. They both got good counter left hands. They both got Tank. I think got a little bit better head movement, but they both athletic. They both be in shape. This is a good fight. You see what I'm saying? Like I see why I see why Frank Martin turned down the Shakur fight because he was in line to get that Gervonta work. You see what I'm saying? He was in line to get that Gervonta work. So that's one thing. Like you got to realize sometimes if you think, man, he crazy, he turned down a fight, he's scared, and then he get a fight with Gervonta, with Abdul Wahid, with Tank. Then you see, oh snap! Like I see now. Like I get it. You know, in my assessment of both of their skill sets, when I think about the left-handedness, the southpaw work, and what they both possess, you cancel off. You got to start canceling off things. They both got decent head movement, but I think Javon Tank Davis, excuse me, that's not his name anymore. Must address the man in his proper standings. Uh, Abdul Wahid or Tank Davis or Tank Wahid. He I think his head movement is a little bit, not a little bit. It's more experienced at the higher level. You know, when you do these things at a certain level, they become heightened. Then you go to hand speed, defense, ring generalship. Those things are going to show in the fight. But as far as the attributes of Tank, when you got two fighters that are pretty well evenly matched, like pretty well evenly matched, um, you have to go off their power. You have to start looking at the numbers and that 93% ratio. Frank do keep his hands up good and move his head decently. But when you're in there with a person with the same hand as you, like southpaw against southpaw, right against right, them things is kind of hard to get away from sometimes. I see what you're saying. I think Frank moved his head a little bit more than Gary Russell, but listen, that is a good assessment. That's a great assessment because Gary Russell be catching punches with the hands up, moving back and jabbing. That's a good assessment. You never know. He could take this fight and then fight Gary Russell after that. So when you look at that, you have to realize that power is a real thing in that ring. So when you got it, man, it's gonna be kind of hard for you to get off your shots or execute what you want to execute because you have to be aware. You have to be conscious of what's coming back, and you can't just be holding your hands up because that them shots slip through there and you can't get clipped from Tank behind the ear. Any wrong move, even not even trying hard. Like he don't try to punch you hard. He just let your shots go. And when you got that type of punch resistance and of taking and giving, it's gonna be hard to beat. Cuz, but as far as on paper and how the fight looks and who they both fought some great fights, good fighters, and it's gonna be left to be seen. But as from what I'm seeing and my experience in boxing and sparring and professional fighting, Tank is gonna stop him. I want to say in the 10th or 11th round because Martin be in shape and he know how to weather the storm, but his style is can lead his style of boxing anytime you got an identical style to somebody like Tank but then Tank got the edge on us crack, it's gonna be better for Tank because remember Pedraza was a taller boxer, could fight left-handed or right-handed. It didn't go good. The last Garcia he fought, the last two, they were both known as boxer punchers, and it didn't go well because they're boxing. But then when you go to Isak Cruz didn't get stopped because that style left Tank off balance because he jumping in hard and throwing shots. That leaves that type of style off balance. You see what I'm saying? You have to understand those. Those things leave fighters off balance. Hit the cash app. Y'all not hitting the cash app or the like button. Come on, man. Shout out to my mans who just hit the cash app last. Jeffrey Bowles Jr. Shout out to Thug Jr. for hitting that cashy. But yeah, you got to realize that Frank Martin. Frank Martin is a great. Actually a good fighter, good boxing skills, good jab, good head movement. Like, but that style is tailor made for Tank, and is gonna end up being. Listen, his style can create a highlight reel knockout because they're both slick. They both not slick, but they both be catching and countering, coming. That is you don't want to be doing that with Tank. I'm telling you, you don't want to do it. The cash app. Let me put the cash app up for you. Coda, my bad, champ. Let me put the cash app up for you. You don't want to shout out to Coda Kid for trying to hit the cash app. We're gonna put the cash app up. Shout out to Coda Kid. Hold on, we putting the cash app up. Give somebody a break. I give my own self breaks. And these are the things that need to be worked on and discussed for the simple fact that hit the cash app. For the simple fact that when you get in work in there, dog, when you get in work, you have to know the style you fighting in so you can be so it won't be detrimental to what you doing. Because if you don't, listen to me, if you do not if you don't practice the things that you in there with, it could be very detrimental. I gotta prop this John up real quick. Hold on, so I could just show y'all the John. We're gonna move it over so y'all could just, there y'all go, Cash App extraordinaire. So look, understand that you gotta listen, nutrition. That's what it's all about. Listen, they both got good boxing skills. They both got everything. This is not like a fight that I'm not interested in seeing. This is actually a good fight that I need to see. You know, pass that collection plate around. Come on, bro. Pass that collection plate around. Hit the collection plate. Hit the collection plate. Hit the collection plate. So look, Isak Cruz had more than great. Even though he lost, he still, and it was it wasn't easy or looking easy, but he just had to keep boxing and moving. But just that darting in when you don't even know and throwing the wild shots, and Isak Cruz be throwing hard. You know, he got some decent power at 35. When you taking your time like Frank Martin using the jab, we seen what that's gonna get you with Tank. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. So that's my point. Like you definitely do not want you what you don't want in the opinion, which is not an opinion, because I don't have no opinions about boxing. I can't. I used to box. So these things are not my opinion. You know what I mean? These are things that I have seen in the ring. I've tested. I've um I've tested over and over and over again to come to conclusions so that when I'm in the ring that I could win a fight and do the things I need to do to stay active and stay winning. You know what I'm saying? So when I used to spar and get work, if you was a boxer, listen, the way my style is set up, it don't matter if you boxing or not. I'm gonna do what I want to do and stay comfortable with what I want to stay comfortable with. It's not gonna matter at the end of the day. But when I was growing in boxing, I was noticing that the things what nothing really gave me problems. If you was backing up, I was gonna press you and try to get, and you was gonna come out of there. You can't just be backing up with me. You can't just be backing up with me. Like, and you can't just stand in front of me because, like King Davis, I am a puncher. Like Tank Davis, I'm a puncher. So you can't be doing that. So in this breakdown, this is the thing that's gonna happen. It's gonna go down. It's gonna look like a great fight, but the boxing, Frank Martin's natural temperament is to box, and that those cards are for Tank. If you're not gonna come in there like Isak Cruz, it's gonna be a hard to beat a man known as Tank because he's not gonna be off balance. You're gonna give him time to think and set up his shots. That's not what you want to do. You can go to listen. Body shots hurt, but you rarely see black fighters going down from body shots and stuff like that. Like you can see them get hurt from them, but you rarely see them go down from body shots. So that's pretty much my assessment. We're gonna give some more assessments during press conferences and if they make the fight happen once it's to be seen. But I really did this for my man Zay Lou because I didn't even know they was gonna scrap. But then when he approached me with the opportunity to talk about Tank and Frank Martin, it came across when it came across the desk. I'm like, man, that's a pretty good fight. Let me look at Frank Martin before I get on here and get to running my mouth. I peeped him out. I said, oh, Frank Martin got some decent skills. And plus, I seen he had an IQ when I seen him tying up the jab hand against Riviera when he was fighting that kid. Like, those things are the things I look at, and he smoked dude unanimously. So that once I've seen that, that means he's most likely ready for a Tank Davis because he's fighting 12 rounders. So he about to get to work with Tank and he about to be on pay per view. Now, is it gonna go his way? Absolutely not. It's not gonna go his way. It's not gonna go his way like you think it is. For the Cash App again, another 7. Bowls, Bowls. What is you doing, bro? Hey, you come in here saying hi. I'm blocking you out. If you spamming, I'm blocking you. Yeah, so shout out to Bowles Jr. He hit in the Cash App today. He hit it twice. He listen, 2 times automatically garlic butter gang gratuity gift. I'm telling you, is y'all gotta be patient and be at peace. I've been doing this for a while. Y'all done seen me do different things, give out T-shirts, do different things like that. Merch is coming. I just got a couple cases going with banks and things like that. NAACPs. I'm working. So what we need to do is hit the Cash App. More videos is coming. I didn't pause. I didn't get to talk about it this morning because I had other things to do. I'm I got lawsuits. So the bottom line here is styles can make fights, but depending on what style you encompass, and if you encompass all the styles set there herein, it's gonna be hard for you to deal with somebody like Tank because he's starting to grow and to be able to, get be able to neutralize all styles, and especially if you a boxer and you taking your time, that's tailor made for Tank. He gonna get you. He gonna stop you. You see what I'm saying? Frank. Don't get me wrong. Frank Martin is a great opponent. That's some good work, but it's gonna be a hard scrap for Frank because and it's worth the money. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be good work. So hey, listen, hit the Cash App if you ain't already hit it. We back. Watch out. Listen, go back and watch some of the fights and make assessments. And then we gonna talk about Frank Martin and Tank again. And I want to know some of the questions y'all got. That's the homework. That's the homework. The homework for this is to watch some of the fights and come back with questions for KuernoDeChivo. What do you think on Frank Martin's end? And what do you think on Abdul Wahid, formerly known as Gervonta Davis, known as Tank Wahid? What do you think about, or what do you know about their styles? And do you got questions? And what can neutralize each other in each style? So let me know what you thinking, what you knowing, how the math is mathing. Don't hate. Read a book, eat some fruit, pause, warn yourself.